Welcome back to A Closer Look. Hampton Roads Regional Jail recently celebrated its 21st anniversary of providing services to its member city. Here to tell us what makes this jail unique is Bob Geis, Hampton Roads Regional Jail Authority Chair, and Superintendent David Hackworth. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, is Hampton Roads unique in having a regional jail? And if there are others, can you talk about some of the best practices that are shared?
Sure. So the Hampton Roads Regional Jail is actually one of 22 regional jails in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And so there are other facilities out there that hold that regional jail function. Mm-hmm. We're a little bit unique in the fact of our population that makes us
unique and special.
Unique and special. So we really are. We partner with the other regional jails. Mm-hmm. There's actually the Virginia Association of Regional Jail Association, where we're able to get together every other month, talk about issues that are going on, problem solve. Many times those jails will use ideas that we've got. Many times we use ideas that they've got. We're also pretty unique in the fact that last year, since my time as being the superintendent, we went through the reaccreditation process with the Virginia Board of Corrections. We also went through the accreditation process with the American Correctional Association and the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare. And so when we talk about best practices, we're actually looking at the American Correctional Association and the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare to hold ourselves to what a national standard is.
What cities locally are a part of the regional jail?
Well, Chesapeake's actually one of the more recent members, so we weren't a member from the beginning. We joined the Regional Jail Authority about 5 or 6 years ago when Jim Baker became the city manager here. And for us and the other jurisdictions, Hampton, Norfolk, Newport News, and Portsmouth, it is not our only jail. The city of Chesapeake has a jail that's run by our sheriff, Sheriff O'Sullivan. But it is a place where, as a member, we have a certain number of beds that we have the ability to fill at the regional jail. So we use it as, we were using it as an overflow facility. I think that's what the other jurisdictions use it as well. But it has also come to really become a place where the individual jails can decide if there's one of their residents, one of their inmates that maybe have special needs, whether it be medical needs or mental health needs, it would be a place that or an inmate that we would send to the regional jail to have it cared there, so have that care there. So I think our regional jail is unique in that there are individual jails at each of the cities. So it really isn't. It's not our only place where we'll send our folks that are awaiting disposition or have the shorter sentences. So every of our cities have jails, individual jails as well.
Now, are the qualifications different given the challenges of the population when it comes to hiring officers? Say, would they need sort of a social services background coupled with, being an officer as well?
Well, the basic qualifications are the same throughout the state. And so we recruit officers based on those qualifications. They complete the same basic training that anybody working in a local jail or regional jail would go through. One of the things that we have really done, and it's something that I implemented with my time here, was to ensure that all of our officers actually go through mental health first aid because of our population that we have. And then we have a number of officers that have gone through crisis intervention training, which has been provided through the state. So we try to enhance, based on our population, we really enhance our training.
Now, are there specialized care or services that are specific to Hampton Roads Regional Jail as compared to, say, maybe a city facility?
So because of our population, we do some things that most other jails do not do. We have medical staff 24/7. We have mental health staff that's there. But some of the things that we do that other jails don't, we run dialysis directly out of the facility. We do physical therapy directly out of the facility. We have ophthalmology that comes on site. We are actually in the process of upgrading our x-ray machine. And so we've got a lot of things that the other jails will not have inside of it.
And that's one of the advantages of having a regional jail. Is the healthcare services that we can provide in a centralized location,
Mm-hmm.
it actually makes it less expensive overall. So if you were to have all these different types of care at each of the individual jails, it'd be much, much more expensive than having those, those services provided at the regional jail. So that's one of the things that I think is a benefit to the individual cities, is the ability to have that centralized care, whether it be mental health care or health care. And it's a less expensive way to ensure those folks get the proper care.
Because you're eliminated like transportation from the jail to, say, a hospital?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And you also aren't having those services repeated at each of the jails. So you may have a lesser medical staff that's more, that's just much more diagnosing issues, whereas we can diagnose and treat issues at the regional jail. Is that a fair statement,
Absolutely.
David?
Can you tell me about the function of the board?
Well, the board is an oversight. Many organizations have a board of directors like this, and so what our role, I have been on the board now for a little over 2 years. I've been the chairman now for just about 2 months, I think. So coming in at the right time. But really, it's oversight. David Hackworth, our superintendent, does the day-to-day operations. He's the one that does the planning. He and his staff are really getting their hands, working it every single day. The board provides oversight. We get reports from the staff monthly. We have monthly meetings to go over, trends and trend analysis. We also approve the budget. And our budget obviously comes from our member cities. So each of the individual cities, we have conversation about what we're going to set the budget at, what the daily per diem rate of our folks that we have there, and then we go back to our councils and ask for the funding to fund that operation for the year. So we do an annual budget every year, and that's collaborative between the individual cities and the individual cities and city councils to make sure that it's holistically funding this facility for all of the region.
Okay. Is the Hampton Roads Regional Jail sort of an endpoint for individuals who are incarcerated, or would they go someplace else afterwards?
We operate like most of the jails do. We have individuals in there that are awaiting disposition or trial with the court. So we have people that bond out of our facility. We have people that are serving local sentences that will be released once they complete their time. And then we also have people who have been sentenced to the Virginia Department of Corrections that are waiting transfer up to that facility.
Now, I know you house both men and women. Is that a difficult challenge, or is it sort of like having 2 jails in one facility?
It's really not difficult. There are many jails that house both women and men. And so we have our standards that we keep those populations separate. And so we operate it very much as just one facility.
Right. Chesapeake has the same setup,
and Chesapeake
correct?
operates exactly the same.
Now, what is a day in the life of an individual who is incarcerated at the regional jail, is, say, compared to the Chesapeake jail?
A day in the life of somebody who's incarcerated is going to be the same. It's going to be getting the individual up in the morning time, feeding them the breakfast meal. We actually have cell inspections to make sure that everything is maintained and is clean and tidy. And then they'll have time out of their cell. There may be programs that are going on. It may be time for recreation. They may be going down to the clinic for a medical appointment. We have a number of people that are under chronic care. And so we'll have lunch. The afternoon could be any of those particular things, and then the dinner meal. And then likewise going into recreation or whatever.
Okay.
TV time,
Right.
things like that.
Can you talk briefly about just some of the programs that are offered?
Sure. So we've roughly got about 20 different programs that we offer at the regional jail. We have things, GED preparation, adult basic education classes. We have parenting classes. We have some for our female population. We have fathering classes. We also have reentry classes, anger management, it's a wide variety that goes on. We are doing some type of programming with some of the individuals in the facility every day. Monday through Friday. And then I think the other two things that are really important is we're also part of 2 state grants. One that deals with individuals with severe mental illness, that we can provide them some housing, basic necessity cost when they get out. And we were just recently, we partnered with the 4 community service boards that service our jail, to be able to do discharge planning for any individual that may have severe mental illness, that it's a smooth transition for them back to the community.
All right. Great. A lot of great programs, it sounds like, as well.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you both for joining me today, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
We have to take a quick break, but up next, get your calendars ready. Parks, Recreation, and Tourism has a summer filled with activities for the whole family. Don't go away.